guitar that I made, and thought I'd start playing this a little bit. It actually is a neat little guitar, I think, and it's something that I made. Went to a Luther school after I retired, and had opportunity to learn more about guitars, and to get an experience of what it feels like to make one. I had a lot of help, let me tell you. I needed help, and but it was a wonderful experience. And plus I have this guitar that is now a hand-me-down with the family. I thought today we would talk about a question that comes up every once in a while, and an experience that nobody likes to be in, but when it happens, you got to figure it out. And that's, what key are we in? Have you ever had that happen? You're playing along and all of a sudden the person that's kind of leading everything, usually keyboard, and all of a sudden the key gets changed and you didn't get the memo. So anyways, when that happens, sometimes it happens on the fly, sometimes it happens in advance, or, or for whatever reason, you don't know what key you're in. And best thing to do is just ask, what key are we in? But sometimes that's not possible. You have to figure it out. Depending on, could be there's somebody in the way of the keyboard to speak to them. You don't want to be disruptive. There's so much going on sometimes, and it's like you just need to figure it out yourself. Right? Okay. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll look at other players, and the bass is a good place to go to, and I can see where they're at. If they did get the memo, then I'm in luck. Right? It's a good moment. I can figure it out. But at the same time, that doesn't always work. So I do have a little method that I use to find out where I'm at. And sometimes I'll use that method also to kind of make an easy way to play and be in tune and know exactly what to play, so that I can transpose it on the fly using a capo. That can happen. Sometimes I use the number system to figure it out, and I don't need the capo. A lot of times I'll just bar it and move along. But, there's just different things you can do. And some people, it's very difficult for them. And using a capo is probably the answer for them. But anyways, let me show you exactly what I do, okay, to figure out what key we're in, first of all, just to find the key, okay? So let's say we're playing along. Now we're playing Country Road, not in church. We're at the community jam. Well, so so for some reason you don't know what key they're in. You can hear it, but you're off. Well, stop playing. Don't keep playing in the wrong key. If you know you're off, stop until you figure it out, okay? Because you don't want to be disruptive. So that's always frustrating when you're playing and you all of a sudden realize, I'm not even playing in the key they're in. I hate that, okay? Not for your sake, but for my sake. When I fall into that, it's difficult. So I don't like to be in that situation. I like to know what key we're in. So if I hear I'm off, I'm going to stop. And then what I do is I start listening to the music, and I'm listening for that that home note, that where the key is at on the music we're playing. A lot of times in advance what you were playing, so you know what the key is, and you're changing to a key, so that's easy. That's an easy find to get out of that situation and actually find the right key. But sometimes you just walk in and you're playing something that you've never played before, or you're not familiar with, or you heard the song but you're just not familiar with it, and you need to find out what key they're in. Well, I'll start listening to it, and I'm listening for that, what sounds to be like the place where everything resolves to. It's kind of the home place. Sometimes it's the jumping off place, and sometimes it's the start of a chorus. You'll just hear it. It's a place where you feel like it's where it all starts. It's where it's happening. Usually that would be the key right there. So what I do is, first of all, I don't do this loudly, okay? You don't want to do it so that it's disruptive and everybody's hearing it. But I use one of two chords, either the C chord or the G chord. And the reason why is because the C chord right here has two root notes, right? The C and the C. And so I know that those are root notes there. I know those root notes. And then the G chord has two as well underneath that are fretted. And it's one here and one here. And I know they're G's. And I know that's the root notes, okay? So knowing that those root notes exist, I can find anything. But you have to listen. You've got to listen to the song. And in most cases, you know what the key was before. So that gives you an advantage. You know where one is. You know where home base is. And so what you would do is just you pick up, say for instance, in this case, we're playing Country Road, for instance. Not in church, but let's say you're someplace and you're playing Country Road, and all of a sudden it changes. Well, you know you're starting here, and you know that's a G and that's a G, but all you have to do is just kind of move up a fret at a time. And what you're doing is you're listening. And again, I do this very quietly. And all of a sudden, I think I hear it. There it is right there. Oh, yeah, that's it right there. So I automatically know. I now know we're in B because we were in G. And as I moved it up and listened, I can see we're in B. Okay? So now I have to transpose. I have to know, what to play with B. And if you know it's a 1, 4, 5, you know what the using the number system, the 1 would be the B, the 4 would be the E, right? B, C, D, E, and then the 5 would be F. But say you don't know that. Well, what you could do is you've worked your way up, and you know that you're here, and your root note is here. Well, all you have to do is count back 3, 1, 2, 3, place your capo right here at the 4th fret, and now you can play that full G chord, the shape. You're not playing the chord, you're playing the G shape that you were playing in, right? And that chord is B, okay? Because the root note here is B and the root note here is B. Okay, that is a B chord that's capoed, okay, using the G shape. And of course with G, the 1, 4, 5, G, C, and D. So now you know G, C, and D, you're going to be playing in B. So you could just... So you can just change the G, C, and D, and you got it. And you found it by listening and just taking those root notes and moving up quietly until you heard that you made it. And then you counted back 3, 1, 2, 3. Put your capo right there on that fret, which in this case is the 4th fret, and then use that same shape, G, C, and D. And you're in B, okay? All right, let me try it again, okay? Let's say you're playing that same song, but you're playing in C. And all of a sudden it changes, the key changes, and you're trying to figure it out. Well, that same thing. C chord has a root note here and a root note here on the 5th and the 2nd string. So you can just start working your way up till you hear it. And they're playing. Oh, there it is right there. I hear it. Okay. So now the lowest root note here is here, right? And you're on the 7th fret, right? Just count back 3. 1, 2, 3. And right there on the 4th fret, in this case again, you're going to put your capo because you counted back 3 to that. And then you make your C shape. And that chord is an E. So you're playing an E now, using the chord C. Using C, F, and G. And of course there's an A minor in there. But still, you're able to change keys by using your capo and just by listening and just moving up the fingerboard using one or the other of those 2 chords as your reference. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope it does. I hope I didn't confuse you. But that's how I do it. I just listen and I just quietly move up until I think I found, maybe I have to back up a little bit. Oh, there it is right there. And I'm playing a G shape here, and I'm using these 2 these 2 root notes here. In this case, we fell on an A, so I know we're in the key of A. And yes, I could play A and D and E, right? I could do that. But I'm just going to count back 3, 1, 2, 3, put the capo on 3 frets back, which would be the 2nd fret. And I'll just play it right here. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. And I hope it helps you out a little bit. Getting through one of those difficult moments, trying to figure out what key are we in. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it right there. And don't forget to subscribe, all the things you do. Oh, there's some kind of hype thing too. I noticed when you slide over from where it says comments, it'll come up. And if you click on it, it helps my channel. It doesn't cost you anything to do it. But what it does is it boosts the video. It sends it out if you like it. Don't do it unless you like it. But if you like the video, click that hype button too. Now there's a new one. It's kind of hard to find. You have to slide the comment section over. But when you do, and you click on it, I guess it gets the video placed in other places faster. All right. So we're going to leave it right there. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.